Well, hello, sports fans. Larry Eater, Conversations with Larry. This is about the second World Indoor Gold Tour meeting of 2022, the Millrose Games. Now, the Millrose Games happened on January 29th, Saturday, a week ago. And despite rain, snow, sleet, up to 6 inches of snow in New York City, which is a lot, 2 feet in New Jersey, a good turnout of actual fans, a fantastic turnout of athletes, and one of the finest Millrose games that I can recall in my semi-long memory. Okay, so let's start out from the beginning because there's a lot to cover. Christian Coleman, he had not raced in 20 months because he missed 3 tests where they showed up at his house, and everybody knows about it. And he appealed. He didn't get the appeal, so they did cut it back a little bit. So he came back. He picked his first race to be the 60 meters in Millrose. He was up against Trayvon Burrell, Ronnie Baker, Noah Lyles, Josephus Lyles, Omar McLeod, Brian Souza from Ghana. And Christian just smoked. He had a great start, as he did, before the break. And he was going up against Trayvon Burrell and Ronnie Baker, 2 of the finest starters in the sport, and he held them off. Christian Coleman ran 6:49, Trayvon Burrell 6:50, Ronnie Baker 6:54, Noah Lyles 6:62, and Josephus Lyles, Noah's little brother, 6:68, and our friendly hurdler Omar McLeod 6:70. So Christian was happy. He handled it well. Some good interviews after. You can check it all out on YouTube. In the 400, this was a fun race too. Again, the Mondo track at the Armory, it seats about 5,000 people. It's not Madison Square Gardens, but you know what? The late Dr. Norb Sander, the man who built the Armory, who brought it back, saved the Millrose Games, because the people at MSG had set up the financial arrangements that no one could make money off the meet, and they weren't about to change it. They had a deal on the concessions. They moved the meet around, so they weren't getting good ticket numbers. Yeah, it was some craziness. So the Armory's done a nice job. In the men's 400, it was Christopher Taylor, Vernon Norwood, Donovan Brazier, and Daniel Addison. And I'll tell you, Christopher Taylor from Jamaica, 46:38, but he had a battle on his hands. Vernon Norwood, 46:45, and Donovan Brazier, his first indoor 400 in 4 years, ran a PB 46:55. Remember, Donovan had an injury problem at the U.S. Olympic trials, and the 2019 world champion didn't make the team. So it's great to see him back. He was ecstatic. And in the interview he did with Jeff Benjamin, he was just one happy camper. So we look forward to seeing Donovan again soon. In the men's 800, Michael Saruni from Kenya almost held off Bryce Hoppel. Did you hear what I said? Almost. Bryce ran 146.05, went by with about 40 to go. Michael Saruni, 146.32. Isaiah Harris, USA, 146.49. Saul Ordonez from España, 147.56. Cameron Jones, 147.92. This is the story. Bryce Hoppel rarely makes a mistake indoors or out. His moves are focused and tactical, and his 146.05 is the world leader. Men's indoor mile. I'll tell you, the Wanamaker Mile, and this year was the Whoop. It's a nice company, and I love that name. Men's Mile featured Ollie Hoare, Josh Kerr, Colby Alexander, Sam Pregel, John Gregoric, Mariano Garcia, who's known better as an 800-meter runner, Kessler Hobbs, the high school phenom, Nick Willis, a man hoping to run a sub 4-minute mile in Millrose, so he would have 20 years of consecutive 4-minute miles. Yeah, he's a 2-time Olympic medalist. silver in 2008, and a bronze in 2016. And Craig Engels. So, and Clayton Murphy was in there too. It came down to Colby Alexander, Josh Kerr, and Ollie Hoare. Colby Alexander in third ran 3:52.84. Josh Kerr and Ollie Hoare battled until the final 150 when Ollie Hoare went by, running 3:50.83, new Australian record, and Josh Kerr ran 3:52.27, a new Scottish indoor mile record, breaking the record of one Chris O'Hare. A brilliant mile. Everybody in there should be proud. Back in ninth place, Nick Willis, 3:59.71, his 63rd sub 4-minute mile. He had the record at 19 consecutive years. Now he's kicked it out of the ballpark at 20 consecutive years of sub 4-minute miles. The great Sir John Walker from 1973 to 1990 had gone 18 years of consecutive sub 4-minute miles. Pretty impressive. And I don't think it's the last we're going to see of Nick. Look forward to seeing him out there training with a very nice track club. And congratulations. Jordy Beamish's win in the men's 3,000 meters at the Millrose Games was the third win by an on-athletic athlete that night. Coach Dathan Ritzenheim was one happy camper. Everybody knows Dathan, fine runner from high school to college in Colorado to running as an elite, American record at 5,000 meters, world-class times from 5,000 to the marathon. Dathan always gets it. And with Jordy, he has had some fascinating challenges. The big thing about Jordy is in the past, he's had injury issues. Dathan has figured out how to break the injury cycle, how to keep him healthy, and find a bespoke training program that works for him. Jordy is training with Ollie Hoare. He's inspired by Elisa Monson, and Ollie and Elisa both won races at Millrose. And Jordy was totally pumped, as he told us, told the media after the race. This was a fast race, a fast, honest race. They got through the 1K hard, 2K hard, and at 2K it was Louis Grijalva, Cole Hawker, Cooper Tier, and Jordy Beamish. Cooper Tier and Cole Hawker broke from Louis Grijalva and Jordy Beamish. Was Jordy going to make a move? He looked really relaxed. He moved past Luis. And on that last lap, which he ran in 25.7 for the last 200 meters, he went by Cooper Tier. He had gone by Cole Hawker, and he had the win, perhaps the biggest win of his career so far. Jordy ran 7:39.50, a New Zealand national indoor record. Cooper Tier ran 7:39.61. Cole Hawker 7:39.83. Louis Grijalva from Guatemala 7:41.21. Let's see, it was 9 of the 10 runners in that race. 9 of the top 10 scored PBs. Pretty darn impressive. You had NCAA champions in there. And so this was a big one for Jordy. Afterwards, he talked about how Alicia Munson inspired him and how his buddy Ollie, who he says is the hardest trainer out there, inspired him, and he thanked Dathan as well. But it was Jordy's night. He did fantastic. He should be very proud of himself. And he showed again to fans, audience, aspiring runners that consistent training, staying focused, and remembering what the prize is. The prize isn't now. The prize is the World Championships in Eugene in July, the Commonwealth Games, European Championships, and perhaps for some Belgrade in March. But this 3,000 was pretty hot, and Jordy Beamish set a national record in PB, and he's on our pinball team. Men's 60 indoor hurdles, Devon Allen. He was actually behind Daniel Roberts, but he battled back in the 60-meter hurdles and won in 7:51. Daniel Roberts, 7:53. Shane Braithwaite, Barbados, 7:67. In the women's 60-meter indoor, Alea Hobbs, 7:11. Micaiah Briscoe, 7:15. Shaunti Jackson, 7:18. Brianna Williams, 7:22. That's some depth. The women's 400-meter indoor, Wadeline Janathas, 52:51. Jessica Beard, 52:95. Tovia Jenkins, 54:14. Ronaisha McGregor, 54:24. Women's 800, Aji Wilson, 201.38, beats Natoya Guley, 202.14. That was the 6th Millrose Games 800 that Aji's won. Michaela Meyer was in third at 202.94. In the women's mile, it came down to Eleanor Purrier St. Pierre, Josette Norris, and Constance Klosterhofen, aka Coco. Eleanor had won last year and broke the American record of one Mary Slaney. This year she ran a 4:19.30. Josette Norris, 4:20.81, huge PB. And again, another gutty PR from Josette in the Reebok Boston Track Club. Congratulations, Coach Chris Fox. Third place, Coco, Constance Klosterhofen, ran a 4:22.59, which I believe is the German national record. She's coached by Pete Julian at the newly named Union Athletic Club. Jessica Hall was in fourth, 4:24.06 PB and national record. Shannon Osika, 4:24.19 in fifth place, and Sage Herta, 4:25.45. That was a pretty impressive race. And then let's go to the third win of the night by On Running Club. Women's 3,000 meters came down to Weena Kalati and Alicia Monson, who are familiar with each other from the U.S. cross-country championships, where Alicia won. Well, Alicia and Winnie broke Laura Galvin from Mexico, who set a Mexican national record in third, 8:42.29. Second place, Weenie Kalati Fresky, sorry, Weenie, 8:33.72, and Alicia Monson, 8:31.62. Women's 60 hurdles, Brittany Anderson, 7:91. 2, Debbie Charlton, Bahamas, 7:95. 3, Tonea Mitchell, 7:99. And fourth, Kenny Harrison, 8 flat. Kenny got a surprisingly slow start. She's normally just an absolute screaming start specialist indoors. Women's pole vault. Our friend Katie Nagia, Olympic champion, couldn't get past 4:35. Emily Grove was second in 4:45. Katie finished third. Sandy Morris, who's only been training for a week, 4:75, world leader. Pretty darn impressive. And then in the women's long jump, the last event of the evening, it's actually, I think, held a little earlier in the day. Tara Davis, 6:59. Olympian, did quite well. Kanisha Burke, 6:54. Katura Orji, known as a triple jumper, 6:54. And Shaquila Saunders, 6:49. Jasmine Sawyer, 6:17. And Avery Lewis, 5:86. The Millrose Games was in its 114th machination. And I'll tell you, it's a fantastic event. I went there at the Madison Square Gardens, and I did also go at the Armory several years. Didn't get out of Wisconsin this weekend, but we had Jeff Benjamin there, and we had some fine photography and fine updates. And again, athletes just want to run. They had all the windows open. Place was a little chilly. They told people how to dress, but with the pandemic, that's one of the things you've got to do. And we hope to be at the 115th Millrose Games. Thanks to Nick Nicholas, who provided me with press releases almost every day and really worked hard with his team to make it easy for me to cover the meet remotely. Talk to you soon. Thanks to Mike Deering, our production manager, who managed conversations with Larry. Please stay safe, wear your mask indoors, exercise, and eat well. Talk to you soon.